Yeah, so how we choose the artists has also evolved and continues to evolve. It started really with just artists that we know, whose work we liked, whose work we owned, artists that were recommended to us by other artists or galleries. As I said, starting when we started with, working with museums and galleries and other nonprofits, obviously those artists. Were part of the residency. So it's kind of always been a mix of people we've met, people that have been recommended to us, um, and people brought in through collaborations. And so going forward, we're doing, as I said, we're doing more collaborations, and those collaborations, they're all unique. Like in the collaboration in the case of Rosie Gordon Wallace with Diaspora Vibe, she chooses the artist. In the case of Young Arts, they do an open call to their alumni, and then a team within Young Arts chooses the artist, working with us and our team. When it comes to international partnerships, they do an open call to their specific area or country, and then we have a selection committee. We have a project right now with Heinz Endowments, to bring 3 artists from Pittsburgh each year. And for that, we had an independent jury that nominated artists. And then we actually had a group of donors that we took to Pittsburgh, did studio visits, and from that, the artists were selected. And now, in fact, as we talk here today, we have 2 open calls. One is for a new program for BIPOC mothers, Black, Indigenous, and people of color mothers. So it's a very specific residency, but mothers have always been challenged in the art world. It's so often been that, once you become a mother, you're only a hobbyist and not an artist. And how do we change that narrative, and at the same time provide some self-care, provide an opportunity for the mothers to provide themselves a bit of self-care. And then the other one is for people that have been born outside the United States and now live and work in the United States. And that residency is funded by the Shepherd Broad Foundation, and that's an open call. And through that residency, we're really trying to, again, continue to make connections, show people that, um, the United States was built on our diversity and people coming from other countries. And how do we make sure that people continue to talk and to um, see each other in a different light through conversation and through art, so that we continue to value the diversity within our communities. Um, so it's constantly evolving, and we're working with, we have a curatorial board that nominates artists, and I think that's we're evolving that a bit as well. Next month, Leilani Lynch from the Bass Museum is going to curate the artist, because right now we're kind of shaking and jiving at each turn, because we still can't. I was hoping to bring some international artists in March that were scheduled previously for 2020, but it's unfortunately likely still to be too soon to be able to do that. So it's always evolving, but it's always a mix of open call, nomination, independent juries, um, selections through collaborations. But it involves many, many voices. That's the